environmental challenges, but now it has grown into a vibrant meeting place that gathers leaders and experts from various backgrounds, sharing their understanding and experience in related fields. It has also assisted in giving valuable input to various blueprints, and I'm sure they have contributed to the development of your very own blueprint, yeah?
Oh yes, definitely, Dr. Mazlan. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sustainable Development Goals that Dr. Mazlan mentioned are precisely what we intend to further explore with IDR. The Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia recently launched the NCR Development Blueprint, or what we'd like to call as Blueprint 2.0, theme Growth with Social Equity recently. The blueprint was designed as a roadmap to drive economic development in the region while maintaining the element of inclusivity as one of its underlying objectives. It delineates NCIA's game plan to transform the region into a world-class economic area while creating socio-economic spillovers for the rakyat. This document, ladies and gentlemen, actually takes inspiration from Malaysia's new economic model, or NEM, and the 11th Malaysia Plan, or RMK11. Thus, Dr. Mazlan, in conjunction with RMK11's positioning of social innovation as one of its key drivers for economic growth, NCIA also leverages on various social innovation initiatives to ensure outreach for the masses. This is indeed in line with the theme of Pangkor Dialogue 2017, Making the Future, Innovative Pathways to Sustainable Development.
Yes, indeed. This year, we have gathered an impressive lineup of over 70 speakers who will be speaking in over 20 sessions in this hall today and tomorrow. And in this hall today, we have delegates representing 33 countries. And what is more exciting this year is that we also have volunteers coming not just from Malaysia, but also from 14 countries. I think we should give a good round of applause for the volunteers. We have lined up exciting sessions to explore possible innovation and solutions to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and focusing on finding an optimal pathway between innovation and sustainable development. Accordingly, Pangkor Dialogue 27 will address the issues, focus areas, and sub-themes that are relevant and pertinent in achieving a sustainable future. It will address issues such as how can we make housing more affordable, what are the factors that strengthen unity, and what impact technology and innovation will have socially and economically, and will development bring happiness?
So, in a nutshell, we are clearly focused on endeavors that are motivated by the goal of meeting social needs, of meeting the need to make the world a better place. To this end, the NCIA is committed to ensure that its initiatives and its collaborations will continue to propel socio-economic development for the masses. We are committed to continue with the creation of job opportunities and business opportunities for the people of the region.
I would also like to add here that IDR's methodologies involve organizing various forums for intellectual interactions, sharing of findings, and engaging stakeholders from public and private sectors. IDR also acts as facilitator for collaborations. Oftentimes, we connect people to come up with innovative solutions to solve existing challenges.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are eagerly hopeful that this event will play a role that would essentially allow us to make the future. With that, here's wishing you a dynamic, constructive, and also an innovative Pangkor Dialogue 2017.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to participate actively in the sessions so we may all live with tangible ideas to bring back to your respective constituencies. Ask thought-provoking questions, dare to challenge existing norms, but don't forget, most importantly, to have fun while you are here. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Pangkor Dialogue 2017. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih. Thank you, Dr. Mazlan and Yang Berbagi Dato' Reza. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Stefan Prisner, the resident representative to Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei of the UNDP for his introductory remarks.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this very warm welcome and introduction. Yang Berbahagia, Tan Sri Tan Sri, Puan Sri Puan Sri, Dato Dato, Datin Datin, senior managers from government agencies and the private sector, distinguished keynote speakers and panelists, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. Selamat pagi and salam sejahtera. First of all, let me say that it's wonderful to be back in Perak. I've only recently taken up my post as resident representative of United Nations Development Programme in Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei, but I was in Perak once before on a very short personal visit, but this visit has left lasting memories for me. There are two specific issues that I remember and I would like to share them very quickly with you. I drove up from Kuala Lumpur and ended up in a small town, and my family was very worried that we would go hungry that day. And of course, in this small town, there was on every corner, there were different restaurants, and that was the first introduction of the wonderful cultural expressions of diversity and the warmth and hospitality of the people of Malaysia that until now I have not forgotten from that very short visit. My second memory was the beauty of the nature of Perak, the richness of your rainforests, the incredible variety of vegetation that you have. For you, this may be something self-evident, but anybody who visits your state for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, this is extraordinary. Imagine that some of the tropical rainforests of Malaysia on 1 hectare, that is a small square, 100 by 100 meters, has more biodiversity than the whole continent that I am from, Europe. I think this is a treasure of significance for the whole globe that you are having here. So it's a huge pleasure to be back in your wonderful state, this time at the occasion of the 4th Pangkor Dialogue. And I'm very pleased that my organization, UNDP, is a partner of this event. And I would like to congratulate the organizers for a comprehensive and ambitious program covering many dimensions of development, from economy, entrepreneurship, to women, youth and old age, to the environment and many more. Now, looking at the development indicators, as a development professional, that's the first thing I'm doing. I have to say that Perak seems to have performed impressively well, reducing the poverty rate from 46% to 0.7% between 1970 and 2014. And also at the same time reducing inequality, only to name very, very few achievements. But as we all know, the nature of development is such that as we solve one development problem, another one emerges. Or quoting Nelson Mandela, after climbing one great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Development is a continuum, and certainly in the time of the ambitious Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals, there is no dearth of new development opportunities and new steps to be accomplished. And this is why it is so important and timely that the Pangkor Dialogue 2017 is linked to the global development vision of the Sustainable Development Goals. Ladies and gentlemen, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which all governments around the world adopted in 2015, cover all people in all countries. Its core idea is the balance between economic, social, and environmental development. This can only work if there are peaceful and inclusive societies in place. And there's two principles that cut across this complex number of 17 goals, and that is leaving no one behind, so always reaching out to those that haven't been reached, and environmental sustainability. This agenda, ladies and gentlemen, does not distinguish between developed and developing countries. Even the wealthiest and most powerful societies have yet to conquer inequality, discrimination, and environmental degradation. And so all countries at national, state, and local levels need to redouble efforts to achieve these 17 goals. And I would really like to salute give tribute to the government, the state government of Perak, to take on sincerely these efforts to align the development with the Sustainable Development Goals. I said no country can boast to have achieved them at this point in time. Just to tell you that last week I heard, for example, from the Finance Minister of Denmark that his budget of next year will fully reflect the Sustainable Development Goals. So action is taking place all over the world in a very, very dynamic way. 10,000s and 100,000s of actors are involved to meeting these ambitious goals. It's an ambitious agenda, but it is an achievable agenda. As the UN Secretary General often emphasizes, we are the first generation that can end poverty. Maybe we have almost done it here in Perak already, but there are other challenges. We may be the last generation that can take steps to avoid the worst impacts of climate change. And we certainly can do much more for women and children and for vulnerable and excluded groups living on the margin of our societies. I said about the two principles, leaving no one behind and sustainability. Of course, Malaysia is known for its policies towards leaving no one behind, towards its affirmative action policies. But as new problems, new challenges arise, the policies need to be adjusted. I'm very happy to see that there is a session, for example, on old age. This may not have been a problem 20 years ago, but it's very quickly changing societies. I can say this from my own country, Austria, where I was part of the baby boom generation, and now we are grappling with a very quickly deteriorating ratio between those to be supportive and those that are still in the labor market. So there is obviously a need to always think through how to best focus on the marginal segments of the society. This effort never stops. And the good news is that we have much better mechanism to do so than ever before. The age of technology and big data allows us to target those in need much more precisely in our policies. And the Sustainable Development Goals are very strong on measurable indicators. So you really can see where you fall behind and whether you need to adjust your policies. The other big principle, apart from leaving no one behind, ladies and gentlemen, is environmental sustainability. This has become much more prominent in the international development agenda only in the last 15 years, since science alerts us how unsustainable our growth is around the world. While the time of the Millennium Development Goals, which ended in 2015, there was only one goal dedicated to environment. Now, in the Sustainable Development Goals until 2030, we have 7 of 17 goals